Live. All right, boys and girls, welcome to the channel. We're new at this, and we got Hailstorm. He's helping us out. We got Shadow. He's helping us out. And I'm Hobbit Hunter. Tonight, we're going to have hunting stories. And it don't have to be actually shooting and killing something, just hunting stories, like out in the woods and animals and just a good story. So, anybody want to start off with a good hunting story?
Who's this? Who's this?
Oh,
Brooklyn.
that's what's her screen name?
Miss
Miss
B.
G?
Miss B.
Miss B.
Or under the account of Jamie.
That's mommy.
Wave to everybody. Okay.
What?
Sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
And make sure if you guys like what you're watching, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and then hit the bell next to the subscribe, because you never know when Hobbit goes live. He doesn't have a normal schedule, so it
Never know.
just might go live and you might miss it. So you want to make sure to hit the little bell to make sure it's ringing.
Ring that bell.
Yep.
That's a shoot. That's a round for everybody in the bar.
All right.
You know that one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to little brother.
Yeah.
Ring that bell. We'll keep drinking.
Yeah. Every time the bell rings, you got to take a sip.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody want to start off? Anybody got a story?
Brian?
I'm going to eat my dinner since it's sitting here cold.
Ah.
So I'm probably going to go off video here and mute my mic while I finish up my dinner.
You don't want to have anybody watching you stuff food in your face. I'm hungry now.
I don't think it's really that appealing. I don't think anybody wants to watch
Yeah.
me eat. I mean, it's a good dinner, to tell you the truth. I mean,
So it's,
Oh.
ooh, you suck.
Sliders.
and then I got,
Yeah.
Ah,
that's entertaining.
yeah.
All right.
So is this just hunting, or is it hunting and fishing?
We go hunting, fishing. We can go just outdoors, just critters.
Okay, so I got my chat going so I can see if anybody comes on and talks to us.
Okay. Suggestion: you need a light in front of you because you got bad shadow.
I like the dark.
Holy crackle!
Hey, holy crap.
You
that's
better
good.
turn that off. It's burning your cabin down. That's good enough. Your cabin don't like light.
Okay, hang on a minute. I'll be right back.
Where are you going? We just went live and Hailstorm runs for cover. Oh, come on. What's he doing? Well, I'll tell you a story.
A little better there?
Yeah. You said you had a story?
No, I was going to listen to your story first.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, that looks real good. Well, we'll get started off with the story when, let's see, I was a senior in high school, and my friend Lonnie and I, we got off work. Of course, in those days, when you were in high school, you had a job too.
Oh, that's right. I worked in a gas station.
Yeah. So we got off work. We only had to go after school for a couple hours to work. And we got off work. We took the girlfriends to a movie. This is back in the 70s, mid 70s. And after we took the girlfriends to the movie, we were already packed and headed for the coast. We were going scuba diving.
Ooh.
We were both certified. In fact, I had enough hours to get my dive master's certificate. I think we were sophomores in high school when we got our diving license. And anyway, we took the girls home and we immediately headed to the coast. Well, to get to the coast, you have to go over a range of mountains, big mountains in Northern California. It was raining. It was cloudy. It was one of those nights where it was so dark, you could not see nothing. without any lights on. Lonnie had a Super B, so we were in the Super B and we were hauling butt. And we get way up in the hills and we're both exhausted because we work all day and we took the girls to the movies. So we decided we're going to pull over and get a couple hours sleep and then continue on. So there's a wide spot that we could see, and we just, we really didn't turn into the wide spot. We just kind of angled into it, and it was so dark. He turned the lights off. You couldn't see to the end of the hood of that car.
Dang.
And I'm sitting there, and we're leaned back trying to get some sleep, and the lightning went wham and just lit everything up like it was noon. And there was a 10-foot, two-legged creature standing about, I'd say 40 yards away. I could not believe my eyes.
Yeah.
So I kept watching, staring at that spot. Lightning, crash, lit up the sky like noon, and there was that creature. I grabbed Lonnie, woke him up, and I said, dude, check this out. And I pointed to where he needed to look, and we only had to wait a minute for another lightning strike. Crack, those lightning strikes were right on top of us, lit up the skies, and there is that creature right there. And he goes, oh my God, strike, another strike in there. What are you doing in the middle of my story?
Spilt my beer.
Okay. 30 seconds after I told him another strike, there's that creature standing there just looking at us. He starts up the Super B, and that sucker could go from 0 to 60 in, I don't know, 2 seconds. We hauled. We made it we weren't sleepy anymore. We made it all the way to the coast. Got a couple hours sleep while we were there. And then we gathered up our gear and we went spearfishing for Saturday and Sunday. We left at about noon because we had to get home and get our gear cleaned up and everything. And we're headed back on the same road. And we're watching because we want to mark this spot because where we saw this creature. And it was just right over the ridge. We got there, we looked over there, and there was a tourist spot with the big carved out Bigfoot standing in front of the store.
Good one, dude.
that was my experience with Bigfoot.
Yep.
It's not really a hunting story, but hey,
maybe you would go
critter.
hunting.
Yeah, in those days it was okay to hunt Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can remember back when I think I was 10 years old, living down in the Bay Area. Me and 4 friends, we were going to go fishing. And so we got up bright and early in the morning. The only thing open was the drugstore down the street. So we're going to go down there and buy some fishing hooks and weights and what we needed to go. And we were going to walk the 10 miles to where we were going to fish. So we go to the store and we're all excited. I was pumped, dude. I love fishing. I've been fishing since I was like 3 years old. And a couple of my other friends. And we go in this store and I buy a 10-cent pack of hooks. I buy some weights and we all buy everything and we're getting ready to check out. We pay for our stuff. We walk out the store and the guy comes running out with security and stops us all, takes us back in. And one of the guys that was with us stole a 10-cent pack of hooks and got us all in trouble. And we didn't get to go on our fishing trip. And boy, still to this day, I am so pissed about that. And this is a kid that never stole nothing in his life. We're like, why did you do that? I don't know. It's like, oh my God. Ruined our fishing trip, dude. That just really sucked.
Yeah. But kids will be kids.
Yep. Yeah, we were 8, 9 or 10, and I was ready to walk that 10 miles to go fishing. But he kind of run that trip for us because they called all our parents to come and get us. And my dad's all mad at me and like, I didn't do nothing wrong, Dad, You were with him. Why didn't you stop him? I was like, I didn't know he did it. So
this is I got a story that only happened not too long ago. It was about 6 years ago. I was bow hunting antelope. And for those of you that don't do a lot of archery hunting, you do a lot of scouting. And you try to pick up on the habits of the animals so that you can set up for them. And there was this nice antelope buck that, what are you doing?
Scratching my stomach. Leave me alone.
Okay. So I have no idea what I was talking about.
Archery hunt, dude.
All I got in my head now is you scratching your stomach. Gross. Okay, I was archery hunting. Do a lot of scouting to pick up the habits of the critters. And I'd set up a blind where this nice antelope buck every day was traveling by to go to a watering hole. So I got out my camouflage material and my couple stakes, and I draped it over this sagebrush and a stake over here, and I made a little on my camouflage material. I have holes cut out so I have, some place to shoot through, and I got it all set up, and I'm sitting on my little tri-stool with my bow on my lap, and I'm watching and I'm waiting. You always get there really, really early, way ahead of the animal even coming.
Yep.
So I'm there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there. Pretty soon I'm like this. I have no idea how long I'd been asleep, but I woke up, lifted my head. He just does not like to listen to my stories. Have you guys noticed that? I sat there and I paid all attention to his story. Anyway, I woke up.
Trying to get the wife on.
Well, we don't want to talk about that. Woke
Okay,
up,
go ahead.
lifted my head, and there was that antelope buck with its head inside the window of my blind. Now, you tell me, how do I knock an arrow, draw my bow without spooking that antelope? You don't.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, a foot from my nose. We were nose to nose.
Crazy.
Yeah, didn't get one that year either.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Should have slit its throat.
Yeah. Couldn't move to get my knife out.
Yeah.
And there was like 3 others that were about 10 yards away standing there watching him. What's he doing? What's he looking at?
Yep.
So I ended up not getting one that year. And right after archery season, rifle season starts. And a friend of mine, was the district attorney here. He knew that I hunted archery, and he knew I'd been out hunting. So he came by and said, have you seen anything out there? Normally you don't tell people where you see the big ones. You wait for them for next year, hopefully. But I gave him a rundown on where this antelope was hanging out. And he said, well, I'm heading out tomorrow. I'll go check him out. I said, okay. So it was only like about 9 o'clock in the morning. Went to the door. He goes like this. Back of his pickup, he had it all caped out. Going to take it to the next town over to taxidermy and have it. Was big enough that he was having it mounted.
Dang.
Yeah, he got my buck.
Well, that really sucks.
Yeah, well, at least a friend got it, not some stranger.
Yep.
Shadow Live. Do you have any hunting stories?
No, but I do have something related to a bear.
Oh.
A bear prank.
A prank?
Yes, a prank done. Is that appropriate for?
Oh yeah,
you bet.
So, as a wildland firefighter, I was out on a crew boss trainee assignment, and with a crew boss, trainee, I had my supervisor who had been the crew boss, and then we had 20 people underneath of us that made up a fire crew to go out and fight fire. And the crew that we had was an on-called crew, and these were generally younger adults in, I would say, like college that were part of the crew of making some summer money to pay off their college tuitions and whatnot. So the crew was broken up into 3 different groups. We had like our squad A or squad B, and then we had a squad of just sawyers, folks that ran chainsaws, and then the swampers to go with them. And these guys, being young adults, thought they were big stuff because they were running chainsaws compared to everybody else. And they were just being extremely rude and mean to all the other folks. So it was one late night. we were told to watch this section of Dozer Line. Just keep eyes on it. Make sure that we didn't get any spots during the night. And that was our goal, or what we were supposed to do. So myself and the other crew boss, we're sitting up on this high point of where our line started going down the ridge. And we were just sitting there and just chit-chatting, talking about, other pranks that we've done to other people. And some folks off this Squad A was listening to these stories, and they came up to us and said, "Hey, do you mind doing a prank on these Sawyer guys? Because they're just being, totally mean to us, and we want to get them back." And like, yeah, I could probably think of something. So we're talking at this time, probably at 7:00 at night. The sun's just starting to go down. And I worked up a plan with the crew boss. And I said, "Hey, contact me on the radio, on our TAC channel, and say, hey, you tell me, hey, I just seen a bear cross the road down below the fire here. So just make sure everybody is aware that, they need to keep their heads up, stay in groups. There are bears in the area." And so he did that, and we had a little conversation about bears, knowing that everybody else had radios in our crew that were listening. And of course, we were targeting the Sawyers. And then we did a check back, making sure everybody knew, just to be heads up. So I had the crew boss drive me down to the bottom road, and I grabbed my radio. I grabbed an earpiece so I can connect it to my radio. And I hiked into the woods, being very stealthy. And it took me, I would say it probably took me an hour to get about up halfway to where the Sawyers were all kegged up next to where they were kind of watching their section of line. And I worked my way into about 200 feet, and I sat down and I listened to these guys talking and having a good time. And I started making whoa, whoa. And you can hear them. You can kind of see like their heads poke up. Like, what was that? Did you hear that? And I guess I should put a time on this. We talked about bear on the radio at like 7:00. And when I did the stealth walk was probably about 11 or 12 o'clock that night. So I did that a couple times. You can see their heads pop up, and you can hear them talking to each other. What was that? Was that a bear? I don't know. I sat back down and I waited for another like 10, 15 minutes. And I make that sound again, and they'd all pop up and look around. And I waited after that another like 20 minutes. And then I started slowly getting in closer. I got myself in about 50 feet of them behind this big old pine tree. And I did it again. I made, whoa. And man, those guys, they sprung up. What the hell was that? And I grabbed this little tree and I just started shaking it, going, whoa. And I tell you what, man, kids just took off running up the line. Kids were running down the line. Some of the guys were grabbing chainsaws and like coming at me, going, running the chainsaw, so like full blast. Other guys were breaking these chem lights breaking them, making them glow, and they were like throwing them off into the woods. One hit me on my hard hat and bounced off. Oh my God. And then I kept on doing that for another 5 minutes, and I finally walked out. It's like, hey, it's just me, guys. It's just me. And I was afraid someone was going to get hurt because the way they were running down the line.
The way they were freaking out.
The way they were freaking out, and we just had to like call it. It was, but I guess that story had lived on for many years after that assignment.
Jamie says that's a funny story.
Yeah,
that's funny, Shadow.
Yeah, chem lights that remind you of something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you want to tell it? You want me to?
Go ahead, dude. I'm just gonna sit here and laugh. Don't got nothing to do with hunting, but it's funny.
Well,
we're in the mountains, so
yeah, that's true. We're in Utah. There's a trail system up there called the Paiute Trail System. There's what is it? Over 700 miles of ATV trails.
No, I think it's more like 400, but it's a lot. It's
maybe
the main loop is 300. So I don't know what you got all the
that's just
trails.
the loop. There's a bunch of branches off of it, and I think I read that they said it was over 700 miles
it could be
of actual trail.
Yep.
And just to let you know, because we talked about it before, I checked, and the trail system from Canada all the way to Mexico is open.
Huh.
They got it all finished up. So anyway, we're doing a loop on the Paiute Trail System with the ATVs, and I got a trailer that I pulled behind my Grizzly, and we had our tents and stoves and tool chest. We had everything. We were living off the back of four-wheelers, different campsite every night. We were 5 days into the trip?
4 or 5, yeah. Yep.
And we were in a real thick wooded area, but we camped right on the edge of a glade underneath the trees. And there was a couple, Kelly and his wife. They had a rhino, wasn't it?
Yep, a rhino with a big trailer.
Side-by-side rhino. And they had never done anything like this before. We took them on the ride, and there was myself, Rob, and a guy by the name of Scott. And we set up camp in this spot, and we sat around drinking a few beers at the campfire. And Kelly and his wife, they went to bed. So Rob and Scott and I, we're still up at the campfire, and we're enjoying ourselves. And they'd turned all the lights off and everything, so we knew they were pretty much. Hey,
you're live.
Okay. She don't care.
Live and streaming. So,
but 600 viewers.
Yeah,
600 viewers. They said are watching.
They saw my tongue.
Yeah,
oh,
they hear you, Tim.
Okay.
yeah.
That's all we saw.
Just had a chat. Said nice tongue. So anyway, we were pretty sure they were asleep, so we got into our emergency bags and got our chem lights out, those little ones that you snap and you shake them and they glow. And we had some paracord. We stuck through the holes and made a loop, and we did one of these things. Way up top of the tree, all these chem lights on the other side of the glade. All these little glowing green lights up in the top of the trees. So we all go to bed, and I know Rob was awake because we talked about it. Scott was awake, and I was awake. But because it wasn't too long after we got in our tents
It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Kelly gets out to probably go to the bathroom, and you hear, I don't remember her name.
Mary,
come out here. Mary. What's that? I don't know, but it's freaky.
And I'm laying in my tent next to him, dude, and I'm trying not to bust up laughing. Oh my God.
I had my face in my pillow.
Oh my God, what is it? But we made one mistake.
Yeah, we put one low.
Uh-oh.
He he said, I'm going to go check it out. No, don't go. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. And I think what he did is after they went back in, he come out later.
Yeah.
And I think he woke up early and went over and checked it out.
He found that one.
Yeah, he could see it real clearly on what it was. If we would have just left the ones way up in the trees,
He'd
we
never
would have
known.
never seen it.
You couldn't see him the next day.
No, they were hidden up in the trees, but at night, man, they were glowing good. And this has been, how many years ago was that?
Well, I've been with Tina 13, and it was before that, so 14, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
16 maybe.
16. Yeah.
Yep.
16 years ago, we did this. And I saw him 3 weeks ago, and he looked at me right in the eye and says, tell me the truth. Did you guys put those glow sticks in the tree? I said, Kelly, I don't know what you're talking about. So, Kelly, if you watch this video, is the only way you're going to get the truth of it.
There you go.
Because we held that prank for 17 years.
Yep. I seen Kelly about 4 years ago, dude, in Elko, and that was the first thing he
Yeah.
wasn't. Hi, Rob. How's it going? You guys, I know you and Hobbs did that.
He wants to believe we did it, but we don't give him any indication we did, and it kind of spooks him.
Yep.
Like, because there was that glade right there. It was a pretty good open area.
Yeah.
And we surrounded it with all these glow sticks. I'm sure he's thinking in his own mind, Men in Black are going to land here, and they're going to anal probe me.
If we wouldn't have put that low one, he would have never known what they were. He would
That
have
low one
never
was a
known.
mistake.
Yep. That was Scott that did that one, I think.
Yeah.
Good.
But that was a good prank.
Oh, and that was a fun trip, dude. That
Oh.
was so much fun.
We had so much fun on that trip.
Yep.
The good old days.
Oh, yeah.
We went the next year with my sister
Yep.
and Mike Showmall.
His wife and Joe.
Sorry, Mike and his wife.
Yeah. And yeah, Joe Young. Or Joe.
Was Joe on that one?
Yeah, because when I got there, I walked in and crawled in his bed and crashed out because I'd been awake for 24 hours.
You crawled in Joe's bed?
Well, I laid on no. I laid on the bottom of it and went to sleep, and you guys all gave me crap over it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was there because he did the rodeo on his Polaris
And crashed.
and crashed.
And I rode Shomwall's rodeo, or his wife's racing one, and won that one event.
Yeah.
That was,
I was the only guy that said, I ain't tearing up my machine.
I didn't tear mine up. I tore theirs up. I didn't even tear it up, though. That was a fun rodeo. Yeah, that was a fun trip, too.
Yeah.
Had a couple people that could have done without, but oh well.
Yeah, it was still good.
It was. Nancy had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
She had
I
a blast.
remember we were about halfway through and we run out of water.
Yeah. that's
Remember
right.
we were coming off of that hill and
Yep.
no water, and one of the road crew guys that we passed gave a bottle
Yep.
of water to us, and I handed it to Mike's wife.
Yep.
I don't think she was his wife at that time.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Was she? And
Yep.
she took a sip, and Mike took it and was going to take a sip, and I took it away from him and gave it to her daughter.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
And he tried for it again, and I gave it to Nancy, and I said, "Women go first, dude."
Yeah.
Water was gone, and he was pretty mad at me.
Oh well.
So
He'll
that was
get
pretty
over it.
nice of the guy.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. That
Yeah, it
was that was cool. We had a lot of good times back then.
Yeah. And then you went and got married.
Yep. I'd probably be dead if I didn't, though.
Yeah, me too.
Now, we sure have streamed away from hunting. We're still camping, but
Yeah, it's outdoors. We'll
Yep.
just change the title to outdoors.
yeah. When I killed that moose behind me right here, that was a fun trip. You should have been on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, just change it to hunting and prank stories live talk.
Yep.
Ah, there you go.
And going with Brian's prank story, I think probably this would have been in 78, 79. I was working at a mine down in Gabbs, Nevada. And One night we're on graveyard. It's about 3 a.m. and we needed.
Okay, Rob, hang on before you get started.
Yeah.
Where do I go to do that, Shadow?
It should be on your. Let's see. Are you in your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, we'll listen.
Anyways, working at a mine. It's 3 a.m. and we had to go get some parts from the the parts room. And there's a young guy in there. Well, he's my age. He was about 22. And we walk up there, and before we got down there, we had this guy that was about 5'3", 5'4" that worked with us, and we put him in an ape costume. So we go down to the window, and there's just a small window that this guy hands us the parts through. Unless it's big, he'd open the door. Well, we told him we needed something, a part that we knew he'd go downstairs to get. While he's down there getting that part, this guy crawls through the window and goes over and hides behind another spot in another row of parts. And the guy comes back, and then we tell him, well, we need something over that would send him over by this guy dressed up as an ape. And I mean, it was a good ape costume. Hair, the legs, everything. It looked good. And, so we send him over there, and he walks around the corner, and this guy jumps out and scared the crap out of it. This kid ran out, down the hallway, down the stairs, out the door, and was in the parking lot before we could catch him. He was getting in his car and going. It scared him so bad he would not go back in there. he told his boss, no more graveyards. These guys are mean. But yeah, it scared that guy pretty good. It was pretty fun. You get it?
No, I just bounce around. I have no
Oh, well.
idea what I'm doing.
So
Oh, well.
I knew it. We'll just do it later.
Okay.
It could be labeled later. I knew a guy that used to work on the skunk train.
Oh, skunk train.
Coast.
Yeah.
Tell us where that's at.
It'd be on Fort Bragg
Yep.
California.
to Willits. But he had a buddy or knew of someone that when the train would run up its route every day, this guy had a gorilla suit, and he'd go walk through the creek right when the train goes by. So everybody on the train swore that they saw Bigfoot on the skunk train.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But they'd look at me, short little fat guy. They go, "Hey, look, a baby Bigfoot."
Or you'd be shot because you didn't know it was bear season.
Well, my uncle lived up. Oh shoot, where's the Bigfoot Museum? Willow
Oh,
Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Willow Creek.
it's just it was a town just east of
299.
Willow Creek. And I
Okay.
don't remember the name of it, but he lived up in the hills, and he had a double wide. And
It's Hayfork, isn't it? Was it Hayfork?
Hayfork, yeah.
Yeah.
You and I stopped. Oh, we got to tell that story. We're gonna have to change this to Bigfoot stories because that's another one.
Oh, we'll do that tomorrow or something.
We stopped. I'll just tell it right now. We stopped. We stopped and saw my uncle, and we stayed a little longer than we should have because we're on the motorcycles going on a ride, and we really don't like the mountain roads at night because Rob,
Deer.
critters run right in front of you.
Yep.
So we left. It was already dark, and we got on what's the highway?
299.
299, and they have a real good wide spots on the side of those roads. So we pulled off, and we both had to relieve ourselves. So around this wide spot was a berm that was probably, I'd say 5 foot high. Am I remembering right?
No, that's about right.
Yeah, about 5 foot high. So, guys, they just can't pee. They got to climb stuff or pee on something. So both Shadow and I are standing on top of this 5 foot berm, peeing off into the wilderness. And I mean, it is straight down. And we're standing there, and all of a sudden we hear these sticks snapping, branches pulling off of trees. It sounded like trees were going over. And Shadow looks at me and said, "Bear?" I looked at Shadow and said, "Bigfoot?" And we both zipped up before we were done, got back off on our bikes, And as I was accelerating, throwing rocks everywhere, I had this picture in my mind that a Bigfoot was doing this to me just as I was pulling out from between his arms. Yeah, it was spooky. Bears don't do whatever that was down there. They don't make that kind of. It was not moving. It was staying in one place, slamming logs against trees, ripping branches off. That was that was a good one.
We got to have you on the show when we bring Kip on, the Bigfoot hunter, on our live adventure show.
Oh yeah.
So I think after we interview him, just everybody else telling the stories of Bigfoot, I think he would be really interested in.
Yeah, especially the one that was carved out of wood in front of the
Yeah, he would
tourist
like that.
attraction.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor, so he would love that one.
I consider that one on when we were on the motorcycles as a Bigfoot encounter.
Yeah.
I really do, because watching all these hunters and that and how they act, that wasn't a bear.
Yeah.
But I had one other where I saw a footprint, and I don't think it was a hoax, because the guys that were working up in that area, I got there at the same time they did, and there was really heavy stuff moved around that would have took 4 of us to move, and it just looked way too real. And those are the only 2 encounters, if you can call them encounters.
Yeah. I've had a few, but I'm going to save it for the show.
We see how you are.
He works out in that stuff.
Yep.
I would love to go on a Bigfoot hunt.
Oh, Kip would take us.
Next year. That's vacation.
And Rob, you're probably unaware of Kip, but he's a guy that I know of and have worked with in my job.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it till recently, but he does travel around with a group of folks that go out and research and document Bigfoot.
Sweet.
I don't think he calls it hunting Bigfoot. They call it Bigfooting.
Yeah.
So
that's the term.
When's he going to be on your show?
I want to try to get him when when you're off work, so that way you could be on the show.
Right.
But it's coming up. I texted him the other night, and he's very excited. He really wants to be on the show. So
sweet.
So you getting the hang of the YouTube chat there, Rob?
I've been watching it. Nobody's talking on it.
You'll be able to cover for me when I'm gone?
You need to make him a moderator, though, so if any trolls get on, he can kick them out.
Right. Well, you will be on the 18th.
You need to do it right now.
Okay, how do I do it?
Get into your YouTube channel, get into your live.
Oh,
then when you hold your mouse over the name in the live chat, the 3 dots will pop up, and then you make me a moderator.
See, you guys are talking about Bigfoot. I'd turn my outside lights on in case he walks by.
Okay.
So I did a prank on myself, if you would call it that. It was in my younger years. I was living in this rural town, and I just got done watching American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, I love that movie.
In London. Yeah.
No, there's one in Paris now, too.
I haven't seen that one.
They've got about 3 or 4 of them now.
The Paris one, I think, is even scarier than the first one. Because it was made later when the graphics are a little bit better.
Yeah. Yep.
So after watching this movie, it freaked me out, right? It was a scary movie at that time for myself. Well, being in Wildland Fire, I generally went out in the evenings and took evening runs, like a 3-mile run to keep in shape. So I ran out 1.5 miles, and as I was turning around coming back, the sun was setting, and the coyotes decided to start howling.
Oh,
and we're talking about 10 coyotes howling, and I'm running back to home thinking of American Werewolf in Paris, that these werewolves were running through the field, coming on the road, and chasing me back home. I never ran so fast in my life than I did that night.
Okay. How the heck do I make you a moderator?
Are you in the live chat?
Yeah.
You see my name Shadow Live?
Oh, crud. I'm not in chat no more.
Yeah.
What the heck did I do?
But we can do this at a later time. We got beer drinking and talking to do.
Okay. We can do this later. How the heck do I
some more to
get
drink? Be right back.
How the heck do I get back to chat?
I don't know.
I don't either. Uh-oh. Rob's green screen went haywire.
His green screen looks like a white screen.
Yeah.
Well, give us another story there, Hobbit.
Well, I want to get my chat back up if I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm watching it.
Okay.
I'll let you know if anybody's chatting.
All right. Let's see. Another story. Fun stories.
Hunting, pranking.
Well, I should have been prepared, but I have a hunting poem story that I wrote.
Oh,
But I don't know where it's at. So,
okay.
I'm thinking. Boy, when you're put on the spot.
Yeah, I don't have many hunting stories. Ever since I left the ranch and took the wildland firefighting job, deer season, I did continue to get my tags during deer season, but it seems like every time I did, we would go on some big fire assignment and I would lose out on my opportunity to go out hunting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and in California, it gets overpopulated with hunters, and
Kind of like Idaho.
you spend so much in fuel trying to get up into the forest, and the cost of tags and hunting license, and so I kind of stopped doing it.
I got a hunting story that you were involved in.
Oh, were you?
Remember when we went on the deputation hunt for pigs?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Young?
Yep.
There was a bunch of pigs. We built those, built a blind with the oat bales and set up on those. And what would you say? About 8, 9 pigs come in? Quite a few. You were spotlighting for us. It was legal. It was legal because we were killing pest pigs for the farmer, the rancher, and started shooting. And first one I popped, drop. They scattered. Let's see. The next one I shot was headed for the creek, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You are right. Third one I hit was headed right at us. And the fourth one I hit was going quartering away to the left. And we didn't get him. We just had blood trail on him, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we ended up with 3 hogs. And I don't know what Joe was doing.
Yeah. I don't know if the laws have changed, but yeah, back then it was legal. That was quite some time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, the rancher could apply for a permit, and the permit was good for 24 hours.
Right.
So the only thing we couldn't do is tag them, because you're only good 1 tag a day, which I thought was a waste, but that was a good hunt.
I think anymore, I don't even think you can do it at night. And whatever you shoot must lay. I don't even think you can take them anymore.
Yeah. Well, see, back then you didn't even need a tag. There was no tags on them.
Right.
So now there is a tag on them. So you're pretty well.
Yeah.
Now that Rob's back, I'm going to go get me some coffee and Bailey's.
See ya.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be.
So you guys are all getting ready for hunting this next year, huh? Or is it this year?
This year, your dad got a deer tag after the sand dunes, and I got an elk tag November.
Okay.
So I won't go with him when he goes, but he's going to come up when I go after my elk.
Very cool.
Yep. So that'll be fun.
You guys taking the big trailers, or is it just tent camping?
My nephew's taking a big tent with the fireplace or wood stove in it, but I'm going to take my trailer, but it'll be winterized, so there won't be no water.
Okay.
So something you don't have to worry about.
No, not too bad. I do have to winterize. We do have a couple days that we can get a freeze, but it's
So
not
you-
as harsh as what you guys have.
Yeah. So do you blow it out, or you put a little RV antifreeze in it? What do you do?
Last year I just emptied all the lines because I got low lines, so I can open those up. And
Yeah.
most of the water draws out.
Yeah.
Anything exterior will probably freeze, but we only get maybe 29, 28 degrees
Yeah.
at times. So anything in the inside, the temperature is still a lot warmer than what it is on the outside. But I do pour a little bit of antifreeze in the traps and
Yeah. Yeah. Because we'll get down to 5-10 below for
Yeah.
a week or two here, but we'll average 15 to 20 degrees from the end of November through January. So.
yeah.
Where I bought my trailer, I just pull it in there. They'll have a day. I got to find out when it is. And I pull in, and they got a assembly line. They have you done in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
They have people hit both sides of the trailer. They got somebody that goes up on the roof to check all the seams.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So they do a really thorough job, and it takes like 10 minutes, and you're done. And it's free.
How much they charge? Oh, it's free?
Yeah, because I bought my trailer from them.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to
Yeah.
check my place and see if they do something like that.
They might.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. My trailer's there right now. I don't know if I told you or not, but 2 weeks ago, I took my mom to Fallon, Nevada to a surprise birthday party for her sister. So I pulled my trailer there, and just outside of Battle Mountain, I'm passing a car, and I looked in my mirror, and I seen something come off my trailer, the top of it, and almost went through the window of this car. And so I'm thinking, and I pulled over, and I thought, thinking, oh, son of a bitch. It was my aerial antenna for the TV.
Right.
My trailer. So it's sitting over there right now because they're putting a new one on it.
You say you should have it back in a week or so?
Oh, I told them I need it back by the end of this week.
Right.
So, because I got to get ready for the following week.
Mhm.
It's like, what, 2 weeks away that we're
Yeah,
going?
2 weeks. I think we're going to be there the 28th, I think.
Yep, and I'll be there the 30th.
Right.
And then, like I told your dad earlier today, I have to leave on Thursday to come back because I have a doctor's meeting appointment Friday for what they just did with me.
Hmm.
And it's one I can't miss.
So since Hobbit Hunter is not on right now and he's the host of this show,
Yep.
I'm going to promote the hell out of my channel.
Oh,
So-
let's do it.
Anybody that's listening, go to Cross Country Adventures.
Finish. He ain't
Yeah,
got his earplugs in yet.
We're going to have a live show with adventurous type guests.
Did I miss anything?
No.
Nope. Not a
I
thing.
made a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
You better go fix it.
Yeah. I grabbed the bottle, started pouring, and it was Kahlua.
Oh.
So
Kahlua and milk.
no, Kahlua.
Yeah.
So I put a little Carolyn's in there with the Kahlua and then some coffee. I think I'm going to call this a prank.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yummy. So do we have any stories while I was gone?
I was telling him about the antenna blowing off my trailer.
Oh my, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. So anyways, well, it did suck because my mom liked to sit in my trailer when we were in Fallon and watch TV. And I went and bought a little cheap set of rabbit ears. Well, they only pick up for 10 miles, and all the TV sent to Fallon is out of Carson City, and that's 50 miles. So I picked up a couple channels for her, but not very good.
Yeah.
But, oh well, it'll be fixed by this week.
Have you guys ever hunted in Alaska?
Nope. Fishing, but not hunting.
Worked. That's all I got to do there. I was there in the wintertime.
Yeah, hunting should be on the bucket list, shouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it should be.
Well, I checked a caribou hunt, but it was $35,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't going on that one.
That has to
No.
be guided, or
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta get my treasures.
well, you can hunt there out of state, right? And not cost so much if you don't go through a guide.
It still costs a lot up there, I think.
I think you can, but for caribou, you got to get float planed in,
Yeah.
and they have all the gear and everything. So
Well, I
and
know
they pack your meat out.
I know a guy that's got a cabin up there,
Ah!
That makes it cheaper.
and they go up there every year.
Oh man,
Yeah, my brother-in-law's has a cabin up there.
my brother-in-law's friend, sister's
That's
cousin.
Yep. Tim's brother-in-law has one up there, and he never invited Tim. So that I know of. Maybe he hasn't.
He's
Tim
going
did.
for a beer.
I know. I had to go for the other stuff.
I got to get one of those closer to my computer.
Yeah. Oh, like right there. Right next to that table.
Yeah. Who got you that nice little fridge?
Some asshole.
I think I know that
Hey.
asshole.
Wow.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I'll tell you a fishing trip when
Where'd he go? He don't like us no more.
I'm still here.
Yeah. What are you hiding from us?
Spent my chew out. I didn't think you guys all wanted to see that, but
No, not really.
Hobbit's acting like he's froze again.
Uh-oh. Crikey. Jamie's sending me witch stuff again.
Oh God, no.
I got a good story. Everybody knows that my brother passed away, so this is a good one with me and my brother, or my brother and I. We went to Elfin Cove, Alaska fishing, and it's a real good outfit. They got quite a few boats, and they only allow 4 fishermen on a boat. They're big boats. They don't want to get the boats crowded so that you don't have a good time. And Tony and I were on a boat with I'll bet you he was well into his 70s, an old guy. Well, he'd come there with his wife. So it was Tony and I, him and his wife, but she didn't really like getting on the boat. So most of our fishing was just 3 of us on the boat. Well, one day she decided she was going to go. And I hook into a big halibut. And it's one of those halibuts where you're doing this. And just fight it would get close to the boat and just go, the drag would just take off, and you go, oh God, I was getting tired. So my brother decides to jump on my back while I'm fighting this fish and slapping me on the butt. He's piggybacking on me, slapping me on the butt.
And nothing you could do.
Nothing I could do because I had to keep fighting the fish. So I finally got him off and landed the fish, and got all the pictures taken, and I was exhausted. So I went in the cabin, and there was benches on both sides of the cabin. And that nice old lady, she was sitting on this bench, and I plopped down this bench and got into the cool chest. And of course, there was beer in the cool chest.
There you go.
Had a few. So I grabbed myself a beer, and she leans over and looks at me and says, "Are you boys on that marijuana?" No, ma'am. We just really enjoy life. You sure you ain't on that marijuana?
You probably wanted some.
She didn't offer you none.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah,
We had a good fishing trip.
Talking about your brother, tell the one when you went golfing down by Monterey.
No. Oh, jeez.
First story you ever told me about him, and then when we showed up an hour later, oh my God.
All right, I'll tell you a story. We're headed from Nevada to Northern California. Rob and Joe are in the pickup.
Mike, not Joe.
Ah, that's right. It was Mike.
Yeah.
And I told him, I says, my brother is a unique guy. He is the coolest guy you'll ever meet, but he's got one problem. He cannot leave a button or a switch alone. He just can't do it. We went on a golfing tour here, there, and all over the place. We were, I believe it was Monterey, and it was like an English pub kind of thing in town. And those kind of bars have a brass bell. For those people that don't hang out at bars, I don't, but there's a brass bell. If you ring that brass bell, it means you're buying a round for the house. So we walk in there, and we're standing at the bar, and here's a pillar, and there's this brass bell hanging off the pillar. And we order ourselves a beer, and I'm watching my brother, and he's eyeballing this bell. It's driving him nuts. He's sipping on his, and pretty soon he'd take a drink. Pretty soon beautiful brass bell. And I'm just watching him and doing everything I could to not laugh because I know how he is. And kind of looks under it. Pretty soon he ding, 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 ding. Everybody in the bar goes, wahoo! He looks around and goes, wahoo! It's about 10 minutes later, the bartender shows up and says, that'll be $85.50.
Oh.
For what? You rang the bell. It means a round for the house. Ha, ha, ha. He only had like $50 in his pocket. I had to spot him for the rest. So I tell Rob and Mike this story. We're just about got done with the story, and I call him on the cell phone, asked him where he was at. Well, he was at a shop, that mechanic shop, Wunsch's, I think it was. So that's right on the edge of town. So he was working on his race car. So we pulled in there, and he comes over. We're talking and laughing. And in this shop, they have one of those above ground lifts for cars. Mm-hmm. They kind of drive in between the two things, and they put them under the tires and lift them. Well, there's a control panel, and Tony's standing by the control panel, and he's looking at the buttons, and he's touching the control. Rob's about ready to pee his pants. Pretty soon he reaches up there and pushes a button, and one side of this car thing starts coming down, and there's a car on it.
He's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I looked at Frank and shook my head, and I had to walk out, dude. I was like, because when Frank told me a story about the bell, I was like, yeah, maybe, but that's just a little far-fetched. And then we walk in there.
That's when it connected.
Oh my God. I just walked out shaking my head because I'd never met Tony. You know,
that
that's
was
the first time I ever met him.
Him and Mike were outside about ready to wet their pants. Love you, brother.
Yeah, man. Miss that guy.
That was some funny stuff there.
Yeah, he was a character. Yeah.
How long have we been on this thing?
You tell us.
I can't find my thingy.
Your thingy?
Yeah.
Well, that's a personal problem, dude.
I lost my thingy.
All right.
Get rid of that belly.
All right.
Yeah, Brian don't like our talk.
Well,
no, we know better.
We are live, and we could have children watching.
We are live.
So how can you tell if anybody's even watching? Because all my stuff says 0.
Look at the top of the chat list.
It says 0.
Well, if not now, they eventually will be.
Yeah.
Because the video will be posted.
Well, I got something like 19 on that stupid one that I posted first.
Yup.
Aha. Let's see. Uh-oh.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find my chat thing on YouTube.
Well, you gotta talk while you're doing it, though.
Yeah.
I was grunting. Listen to me grunt.
So a couple years ago, me and Hobbit, we went up. He come up here and we went deer hunting the first couple days, and we both got our deer the first day. So we took and ran our deer back to town to the butcher, dropped them off, and went back up and met my friends up at a elk camp. Because then I had an elk tag to go the next day, and we're sleeping in this jumping jack trailer. And that first night, a snowstorm broke out, dude. About 40-mile-an-hour winds, and we had a couple buddy heaters going in his jumping jack, and we slept pretty good. That's why it surprised me when he said he froze down at the dunes, down at Dumont.
It was because of the wind.
Yeah, that was a wind.
Yeah, but remember how hard the wind was blowing on us too, but maybe it's because Josh's trailer blocked a lot of that wind. That could have been.
Yeah, it was blowing so hard at Dumont that I couldn't sleep because the tent was going whop, whop, just crazy.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
But now you got a toy hauler, so it don't matter.
Yeah, I'm no longer a camper.
Nope. We don't camp no more. We
Oh, I found it.
Hey, he found it.
Sure wish I was paying attention so I knew how I found it. That sucks. We're still live.
Yes, we are.
I pushed a button that scared me.
So how long we been on there?
I still don't know. I have no clue.
So this Wednesday, Shadow, is that when we're doing it?
18th.
The talk show?
Yeah, yours.
Yeah. Cross country adventures. We are going to have Hobbit Hunter as a guest. We're going to highlight his adventurous hobby of hunting. And he is going to
Repeat all the stories that I just told you guys.
entertain us.
And he likes to do that.
Yes, I do. I lost the chat again.
So you want
Yeah,
some
you're
of the
lost.
you want some of the general questions that we're going to ask?
Yeah.
You got a pen and paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me pull up my list here.
What got you into hunting? That's going to be one.
My dad.
Well, that is going to be one of them. There's 10 questions that are going to be asked.
Okay, what are we going to do for the other 50 minutes?
Well, you got to understand that the questions are going to lead you into stories.
Uh-oh.
So you got to just make sure to explain and talk about your stories. Let's see. Let me look real quick. Where do I have that? Probably under cross country talk. And I got you in there. And I lost it. Awesome.
It might be where his chat is.
Yeah, I lost that again. I found it. Now I lost it again.
Okay, here's the show notes. Okay, you got your pencil and paper?
I am ready.
All right. So I will ask. I'm sure we all know that what hunting is, but just in case we have some in the audience that isn't quite sure what hunting is, can you explain a bit what a hunter does? I mean, what is hunting?
Okay.
Well, what is it?
Oh, you want me to what do they call it? Spoiler alert.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Spoiler alert.
What is hunting?
Mute if you don't want to hear.
Hunting is conservation. We go out and we harvest game animals for food, and at the same time we manage the herds so that they don't overpopulate, which would cause to disease and lack of food. but I'll explain. I'll expand on that later.
And you can go into, for some, it's the main source of food for them and their family.
Yeah.
Some do go after the trophies. Say like Africa, when people go to Africa and hunt the big game type animals. Yes, they're going after trophies, but yet the meat is given to the tribes to help their families.
And we know that a fact from your grandfather.
Yes, and the squirrel hunting and all that. So that is just a question to lead you into like a 5-10 minute conversation.
Well, that's easy.
Okay. So question number 2 is, how long can these trips take?
As long as you want them to.
Yeah. Well,
I've been on hunting trips where I hadn't even opening day had already occurred. It's 3 days into the season. I was headed to my campsite and harvested a deer before I even got to my campsite. So loaded up, turn around, go home. And then there's other times where I set up camp, hunted all week, went home, went to work, went back, set up camp. Just whatever you plan on.
So think of these questions as you're talking to someone, say from a large city, and all they know is city life.
Yeah.
So how long can these trips take? Well, hell, you can go out there for a day and go squirrel hunting, or you can go out there on weeks on end. But you can elaborate on that.
Yeah. I will.
Question number 3. How does one get into hunting? What is some of the equipment, knowledge, and paperwork that you might need?
First of all, and foremost, hunter safety course.
Yeah.
Most states, I think all the states now require them before you can even get a hunting license.
Yep.
It always helps that if you have a friend that hunts that can help you. And I've helped, I don't know how many people.
Yeah.
Right. Get into that.
So yeah, that's the paperwork. The knowledge would be, finding a friend or a guide.
Yeah, guide's a good way.
The equipment. So, what would be some of the basic equipment? It depends on the hunting.
Yeah, we'll cover the cost.
Well, that'll be another question.
Okay.
But the equipment that you would need would, it depends on the game that you're hunting, of course.
And what kind of hunting.
And how long you're going to be out there. Are you going to need a tent, sleeping bag, trailer?
I have heard of a club called coup hunting.
Mhm.
The Native Americans, some of the tribes did what they called counting coup, and they would ride up or charge their enemies and hit them with a stick, and that was to show their bravery and to scare the enemy, and it was called counting coup.
Okay.
There's clubs that call it it's called coup hunting. They don't shoot the animal, they don't photograph the animal, but they collect hair from live animals. So they
Or what do they collect the hair for?
That's their trophy.
Huh.
They're it's like coup. They don't kill it, they don't wound it, they just touch it as a coup count. They sneak up, they got good camo, and their whole hunt is crawling on the ground trying to get close enough to the animal. And then they take that little bit of hair that they pulled off the animal, and they frame it and put it on their wall with what kind of animal it was. They do this with mountain lion, bear, deer, elk.
All right, Hobbit, you're getting a little off subject on my question.
Yeah, I know.
So do you want me to repeat the question to you?
Yeah. I need more time.
Why are you such a dick?
Question.
Because he's my son.
I learned from the best.
He's got the I'm a dick gene.
Question number 4. What would be a rough bare bones cost for one to get into the sport at an amateur level?
Good one. Good question.
Well,
Do you
You're going to have to give me a
BB
little
gun?
more information because there's so many different type of game and different weapons, firearms for the game.
Well, you're looking at a bare bones cost. So could it
For
be
deer. Let's say deer.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't even have to be deer. It's hunting in general. So
Yeah,
Could
but depending on what you're hunting, it's going to cost more or less.
right. So what would be the cheapest? What would be the cheapest way to go out and hunt?
Shooting squirrels.
Right.
Squirrel hunting with the Ruger 1022 at about $300.
Okay.
No
300
camo.
Can one go out and hunt with a slingshot?
Yep.
if you want. Well,
How much does a slingshot from Walmart cost?
Well, a slingshot from Walmart ain't going to get it for you. You're going to spend, you need to get at least a decent one, $35.
wrist rocket.
35
Yeah.
bucks. How much for the BBs?
Use rocks.
Yep.
Okay. So that and the cost of driving for fuel, right?
Yep.
So what are we looking
Or
at? Like,
you can spend about $700, $800 for Remington 700 and go hunt deer.
well, you're not.
But part of the expense, part of the fun is the camping. Some of my best hunting trips, I harvested no
Right.
animals.
So remember, we're talking to someone from the city. You know, if they don't
Yep.
have a lot of money, what would be the cheapest bare bone cost if they just want to just get into the sport to get a little feel for it, and then if they feel like that's something they like to do, then they can save money and put more into it. So
Yep.
we're just looking at the bare bones cost for one to get out and just start with the hunting experience. Okay.
Okay.
So
Frank,
What's
are you
it-
clicking a pen?
Yep.
Yeah, that's don't do that. That might run people off. It's kind of annoying.
ticky tick tick tick. Okay.
You can do it now, but I'm talking when
Okay.
if you got people
So
on.
the next question would be, what would be a high dollar cost if someone wanted to go all in at a pro cost level or pro level?
Ask your dad how much he's got into it.
So I would think of someone that's going after big game, high dollar type stuff, going to Africa, getting a guided hunt. You're looking at, how much.
Well, let's just talk about what we were earlier. Caribou, $35,000.
Right.
And you still got to buy your rifle. You still got to get to wherever their base is.
So you just explain all that.
Okay.
Next level. What got you into the sport and at what age?
My dad
Your
was
dad
an
got you into
avid
the sport?
hunter.
Okay.
And age at that time, I think, was 12 or 11. There's a minimum age for hunting.
It was
But-
12 when I started, and I was a year behind you.
But I was hunting with my dad before I could actually hunt.
Yep.
I tagged along with him. So,
That's because they wanted us to pack their kills out.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Pops.
Yeah.
Which I got great stories for that one.
So number 7,
Number 7.
which might lead into one of those stories. Can you walk us through your first hunt and maybe some of the emotions you were feeling during the time?
Oh, good.
Oh, I
question.
can't remember that far back. I can tell you about the first deer I killed. The first deer I harvested. I can remember a
Well,
lot about that.
Just talk about that as your first hunt.
Yep.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
What was your best trip? Tell us the story of your most favorite, best trip that you've been on during hunting. You don't have to tell us now, but
I know exactly what,
okay.
and I didn't kill anything.
But just remember that that's fine. But that's something that you can stretch out 10, 20 minutes, whatever you want to tell the story. It's your time to tell it. Okay?
Yep.
And then the next one would be, what was your worst trip?
I don't think I ever had a worse trip.
not necessarily a worst trip, but one that maybe was memorable, but something bad or troublesome might have happened.
Okay, I'll think on that one.
Okay. And then number 10 is one question. I mean, all these questions I'm going to ask everybody, but I kind of want to get a feel for all the adventurers out there on how much TV they actually watch. Because you'll have some folks that, you know, they dedicate all their time into the adventurous type hobbies that they do. And I would like to know, you know, like how much TV, like just useless, you know, entertainment they watch. I know some folks that don't watch it at all.
Yeah. So
I know some that maybe they only watch shows that benefit their lives or the sport that they're in. Like,
how,
you know, like
how
some
much YouTube time do you spend?
Yeah.
Going to be a lot
So-
more now.
Yeah.
So, you
Okay.
know, if it's, you know, say it's in the season that I can't do any hunting, yeah, I come home and watch quite a bit of TV. But when hunting season hits, I don't watch any TV at all because all my time goes to it.
Yep.
You know, it could be something like that.
Absolutely.
And then after that, we're going to go questions from the panel or audience.
Rob would be on the panel.
So, and at that time, if no one's got any questions, we'll just talk about more or different stories of different trips, and we'll just fill an hour in.
Yep. Like the story your dad told me about Tony.
So, well, no, we want to keep it to the hunting.
Yeah, though this was a hunting story. And your grandpa told me about it. Your grandpa and Frank and another guy were down hunting, and Tony your grandpa, but then Frank's grandpa and Tony's grandpa and Tony were setting up on a ridge, and Tony had his BB gun because he wasn't old enough to hunt. And Grandpa's like, you got to be really, really quiet, Tony. And so Tony's sitting there pretty Tony pump up that BB gun and shoot.
He was shooting
Tony,
lizards.
yeah, Tony, you got to be quiet. Pretty soon, Tony. Well, Frank and your grandpa and the other guy, they come walking up there and like, where's Tony? Oh, he's down there getting his damn BB gun. He wouldn't be quiet, so I threw it off the hill.
Threw it off the hill.
As soon as we broke through the trees, Tony bailed off of that rock and headed downhill hunting for his BB gun.
So yeah, you should have 10 questions there.
Got him.
So yeah, if anybody
That'll
wants
probably lead
to,
into an hour.
if anybody wants to watch the show, Cross Country Adventures, we'll have a live chat. The audience can be interactive and ask questions, and should be a good time.
And
And-
that's,
And we're gonna do some live streams from Winnemucca.
yeah, the next week.
Yep.
Probably we're gonna do some.
No, 2 weeks.
We're gonna do some campground. Have a beer while we talk over the campfire.
Yep.
On this channel, right?
Hey, one night we're doing camp pies too. So I need to know what kind of pudding you like, or what kind of filling you like for your camp pie. Do you want
Your
chocolate pudding?
camp what?
Camp pies.
Camp pies.
Do you want chocolate pudding, or would you like strawberry jam? You know, you'll like it.
Okay.
Making some, so
I can't wait.
grilled cheese. I always do grilled cheese for myself.
I love grilled cheese.
I do too. So that's probably what you'll want too.
See, next week, on the 18th at 5
Yes.
Pacific time, will be X Country Adventures. You'll be interviewing Hunter. Can I suggest a question?
Well, you can say anything you want after those 10.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the show.
What's that?
All of the stuff that you do, skydiving, open water shark dives, motorcycles, why did you pick hunting to talk about?
Why did you?
Why did I?
Yeah.
Why did I? You're asking me.
No, I want to talk about hunting.
He picked it. He picked it
You
up.
haven't heard my intro into you yet.
Okay.
So I only gave you the questions.
Okay. I always give you suggestions and you never like them. So,
Well, that's because you gave it to him.
Yeah, I haven't heard your intro, so I guess I'll just wait.
Yeah. But we're the for the show, I'm highlighting just certain hobbies.
Yeah, but what I'm
Adventurous
getting
hobbies.
at is when you asked me to do the interview first, you asked me what topic of all the stuff I wanted to do, what topic did I want to talk about? And I told you, let's go with hunting.
Okay.
So why'd you go with
That's
that?
what I was getting at. But anyway, can I tell my best hunting story?
It's your channel. You can tell whatever you want.
No, you can't.
I'll do it really basic, but I was coyote hunting. And there's a couple ways to coyote hunt. You get on top of a rock and make some calls and shoot a coyote at 200 yards, 100 yards, 50 yards. But there's another way where you go into a flat, find a clearing, plop your butt into a sagebrush and start calling. And then you have the opportunity to take the coyote with the crossbow, with the compound bow, with the pistol, with the shotgun. You get them in really, really close. Well, I was doing that kind of hunt where I had this nice clearing and I plopped my butt in and pulled the sagebrush around me. And I was hunting with a shotgun at the time. And I'm sitting there and I'm calling and I'm calling. And if you do enough hunting, you end up, and a lot of hunters can tell you, you get a sixth sense. You know, there's nothing telling you that game is coming in, but you get that feeling. You've had it, haven't you, Rob?
Oh yeah.
How about you, Brian? Yeah, you
Mhm.
just know. So I stopped calling on the loud call. I don't use those electronic devices. I have all mouth calls. They're too loud. If a coyote gets really close, he'll pinpoint you. He'll pinpoint you, and then the game's over. So I quit on the main call, and I started with what we some of us call a squeaker. It's like a mouse call, and it just makes a sound like. So he can't really zero in on the sound, but he still hears it. So I'm in that bush and I'm looking, and I'm expecting a coyote to come out of the brush, 10 yards away from me. And all of a sudden, something hits me on the back of the head that just pulls me forward, pushes me forward. And I raise up like this and look, and I'm about that far, nose to nose with the coyote. He had come in behind me, heard that squeaking in the bush, and figured it was probably a mouse or something, and did one of those little bouncy things that they do right on top of my head. And him and I were looking at each other. I didn't even attempt to shoot him. I thought, this is just too cool. He was so shocked. I was shocked. And I'm sure he went back out into the brush and told all his coyote buddies about that strange mouse that was in that bush. But to me, that was so close to nature, I guess. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose at that time not to take that step and pull the trigger. I let him go. Him and I had an experience, had a connection. And to this day, that's the one I think about all the time, is when the coyote jumped on my head.
That's pretty cool.
So that's fun. You know what? Should we close this up?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting hungry.
About an hour and 30 minutes in. So
Yeah.
Sweet. Good one.
All right, guys. This is Hobbit Hunter with Hailstorm and Shadow Live. Just chatting about hunting stories and Bigfoot stories and prank stories, and had a good time. If you like us, give
hold on. We got Chad Linton in
Uh-oh.
our live chat.
Hello, Chad.
When will y'all have Mike
Mike.
Hawk back on here? Mike Hawk.
I have no clue. I worked with a Mike Hawk a long time ago. Huh.
So, Hobbit, when will you have Mike Hawk back on?
I don't think I don't know who Mike Hawk is.
Do you know it, Chad Linton?
No.
All right, Chad, how do you know of Mike Hawk? And do you know Hobbit? Well, welcome to the channel anyways. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because Hobbit here goes live whenever he wants to go live. Michael Hawk. Do you know of Michael Hawk?
No.
Sorry, Chad.
Why does he think we know Michael Hawk?
I don't know. Ask him. He's watching you.
Yeah.
Why do you think we know Michael Hawk? This is our like one of our first live stream chats.
So I'm looking at Chad Linton here. It looks like he's a fisherman. Went to his channel. When you guys get done here, check his channel out. You might find it interesting and
Yeah,
subscribe.
we'll check it out.
He's got,
If I can find my chat thing.
Oh my.
I don't know where it went.
So it looks like he went fishing for some snapper. Fishing. Oh, he said, "Oh, sorry, it must be a different stream."
Dream.
No worries, man.
No worries.
Yeah.
Go ahead and like ours and come back and listen.
And we've been chatting here for about an hour and a half, talking about hunting stories and also some stories of doing pranks on others. And Hobbit, you're gonna keep this archived, right? So people
Yes,
can go
I
back and
will.
watch it. Awesome. Yep. So come back and check Hobbit's channel out. You know.
You can check your channel out too.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a live stream show this Wednesday, 5 o'clock, and we're actually going to be interviewing my dad here, Hobbit, and he's going to be telling us all about hunting.
And he wants to know what kind of pranks.
Hobbit, what kind of pranks did we talk about? There was some, what, Bigfoot?
Do you want a story?
Sure, give us a prank story.
A prank story. Okay. Shoot. Which one, Rob?
No, go ahead back to the lights.
No, do the Bigfoot one again.
Oh yeah, do that one.
The one when we were going scuba diving?
No, the Bigfoot up on the lightning.
Yeah. When we
scuba
were going diving.
Sure.
Young man in the 70s, senior in high school, a friend of mine, Lonnie, and I got our scuba diving license when we were, I think we were sophomores, juniors, but we got enough hours that we qualified for dive master. So at a young age, we were diving. And of course, in those days, we all had jobs. So we get out of school, go to our job for a couple hours after school on a Friday. And then we took the girlfriends to a movie and then headed out. We took them home, headed out, had all our gear, all our scuba gear in the trunk of my friend Lonnie's Super Bee. And we're heading over the mountains, big mountain range between where we lived and the coast. We were going to Fort Bragg, California. And we were headed over Highway 20 on the Mendocino National Forest. And it was cloudy, really cloudy. It was one of those nights that you shut the lights off. You couldn't see the hand in front of your face. But we got pretty much on top of the ridge, and we were tired because we'd gone to school all day. We worked a couple, 3 hours. Then we took the girlfriends to the movies, and now we're driving. So we decided to pull over and get a couple hours sleep before we headed on, to Fort Bragg. So we pulled over in this wide spot. And we really didn't go like this. We didn't 90 degree into it. We just kind of slid off of the road like this. I'm in the passenger seat and it is so dark. He turned the lights off. You couldn't see the front of the car, the end of the hood. You just couldn't see it. And I'm trying to sleep and I'm kind of looking out the side window and the lightning crashed. The lightning was so close that it was like noon. It just lit up everything. And about 40 yards away, what I saw was a 10-foot, two-legged creature standing there looking at us. And I went, oh, what? And I didn't really believe what I saw. So I stared at that spot. The lightning crashed again and lit up the sky. And there it was again, standing there, big hairy thing looking at us. And I grabbed Lonnie and wake him up. And I says, look right over there. And I pointed to where this thing was. And he's staring. 30 seconds later, the lightning crashed and lit up the skies. And it's still there staring at us. It was like 10 foot tall, huge creature. Lonnie goes, what is it? And lightning strikes again. And it's still there. He started up that Super B. And I mean, it was like Dukes of Hazzards. We were out of there. We were throwing rocks everywhere. Well, we were wide awake then and didn't have a problem staying awake. Got all the way to Fort Bragg, did a couple days of spear fishing. And Sunday around noon, we did a morning dive. Sunday around noon, we packed up and we headed home because we had school on Monday. And the closer we got to this spot, we knew where it was at. Closer we got to the spot, man, we were eyeballing the side of the road. It was just, we had to see this spot in daylight. It was just calling us. We kind of crested over right up on top of the ridge, and off to the left is where we pulled off. Well, it was one of those tourist traps, and there was a big carved Bigfoot standing out in front of the tourist trap, and that's what we were seeing. I'll never forget that story because, oh my God, just telling the story kind of makes goose pimples on my arm. But that was fun. Yeah. That was a fun story.
Chad, he's in here on the chat just laughing away.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yep.
So yeah, for all the viewers that are going to be watching this show later, check out Chad Linton's channel. Definitely has some fishing stories there. I'm going to check them out here a little later.
Yeah, so am I.
And
hey, Chad, be sure to give us a thumbs up, eh? Subscribe, see what we talk about, join in.
Yeah.
Also Brian's channel.
Every beer talk that we have, there's usually some kind of a subject. Hunting stories, fishing stories. What else have we talked about? Prank stories. Yep. Chad said he already subbed.
All right. Way to go, Chad.
Gave you a thumb up. So yeah, we like coming over here and just telling wild stories.
Hey, Chad, I'm brand new at this. In fact, this is my first live stream show. Well, we've got some recorded stuff, but what's the best way to find your channel?
Well, you can just search for him, Hobbit. You can search.
Yeah, but I'm asking what's good words to put in the search.
Chad Linton, and do a filter for a channel. And it's got a picture of him holding a fish.
Channel. How do you spell that last name?
Linton.
Ton. Okay, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna check that out. I like my fishing.
I could send you a link as well.
Yeah, do that. I'll tell you a quick fishing story there, Chad. My brother and I were up in Alaska. Elfin Cove, good place to go. They have a bunch of boats, nice sized boats, but they only allow four fishermen on the boat, so it's not overcrowded. My brother and I, we were fishing with this old guy, and his wife was the fourth person on the boat, but she only went out one time, so it was just three of us. And the time that she went out, I hooked into a huge halibut, and I'm doing one of these. You know how it goes. Just fighting. Get close to the boat, and it would take off. And I get it right back to the boat, and it would take off. Well, my brother and I had a cool chest full of beer, and we'd had a few. So he thought it would be funny, and he jumped on my back like piggyback while I'm fighting this halibut, slapping me on the butt, going, "Get Get him. And the halibut turned out to be about, I think it was 225 pounds.
Dang.
So it was a big fish. It was tough. Finally landed the halibut, got him off my back, landed the halibut, went into the cabin, and there's benches on both sides of the cabin. And this old guy's wife, she was sitting on one of the benches, and I went in there and plopped down on the other one right across from her, opened up the cool chest, grabbed another beer, and she leans over like this, goes, "Are you boys on that marijuana?" I said, "No, ma'am. We just have fun." She goes, "You sure you're not on that marijuana?" I said, "No, ma'am." So that was fun.
Old Chad, he says, I killed a rattlesnake and the body was still moving, so I put it next to a tent my friend had. He freaked out. I went over to it and act like I was moving it and threw it at him. He screamed like a girl.
Good one.
Oh, he
Glad
said
you ain't my friend.
he said he's never caught a halibut. He's from Florida.
Oh my God, Florida, tarpon. I was
You've
in the
been there,
Keys.
Frank.
What's that?
You've been down there fishing.
Yeah, went tarpon fishing and dove for spiny lobster. That was the day before the lobster season opened up. We were in Marathon Island, and we read online where this place had the best lobster Reuben in the world. So we went there the day before lobster season to get this best lobster Reuben in the world, and it was the worst lobster I ever ate in my life. About halfway through, it dawned on me we're the day before lobster season opened, so this had to be last year's lobster. But no, tarpon fishing. I love tarpon fishing.
Well, Chad Linton says, no tarpon yet. Seen many schools, but haven't hooked any.
Oh,
He said, I did catch a sailfish off my pro angler kayak.
Oh,
sweet.
that's
You
a
got the
Frank one.
12 or the 14?
We'll have to wait here a little bit. It is on a delay.
Yeah. Frank wants the 14.
I want the 14.
You want the pro angler 14?
Yeah, that's the one I've got marked.
Ah, well, this is probably the guy to. Oh, he's got the 14.
All right.
So if you've got any questions, old Chad, he can probably.
Yeah,
answer them
I'll
for
be.
you.
Well, I've done a lot of research in it. In fact, the new toy hauler I bought has a garage that's 14 foot just to fit the 14-foot kayak.
Well, Chad said it's got turbo fins.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but Chad, one thing about it, I'm old, so I'm going to buy that trolling motor that you pull the fins out and stick the trolling motor in there.
Dude, you need to exercise. Leave the fin.
Yeah, I know. Shut up, Rob.
He said
No,
it's-
I've been researching that Pro Angler 14 like crazy. That's the one I want because I like the rails where you can put all your stuff. And then I like that, I don't know what you call it, that you put on there and you can stand up and lean on it because I like bass fishing.
Well,
A lot of casting.
he said it's perfect for fishing and moving at the same time.
Cool.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Yep.
But a sailfish on a kayak? How
That
far?
would be a trip.
Yeah. How far did you get pulled?
He said, I bass fish a lot, and it is awesome for it. It's a mini bass boat.
Yep.
That's what I wanted it for.
Yep. There's some good bass ponds up here, Frank.
Yeah. Sturgeon.
Oh, we can go that one hole where we got you to catch your first sturgeon.
No, we're going to CJ Strike.
You're not going to use the kayak where we catch the 8-footers, though.
No,
It's
too
fast,
much
fast
current.
moving. Yeah.
I'll be pedaling until I die.
You won't paddle fast enough. We'll see you in Hell's Canyon.
Pick me up 40 miles downriver,
Yep.
and hopefully before the falls.
He said, I caught it a half a mile out, but it probably 30 pounds, so it didn't pull me.
Cool.
Wow. What part of Florida? Is he in the Keys or in the mainland?
Yeah, Brian, remember when we were at Cabela's in Reno and I was looking at them one kayaks there, kind of like what your dad's after, but it was the 10-footers? My brother-in-law won one the other day. Last week he won the same one I was looking at there.
Really?
Yeah.
He said he's from the Northwest, Pensacola.
Oh, okay. I know where Pensacola is.
Yep.
Cool.
Very cool.
I loved my fishing trips to Florida. Oh, that's fun fishing.
Did you only go once, or did you go a couple times?
I've been there 3 times now.
3 times. And what did you fish when you went?
One time for tarpon, and then the second time I went up there and we fished for grouper off of a wreck, but that was on the
East.
the Gulf side.
Okay.
Because a friend of mine's cousin has a realtor's office, so we always rented a house in Marathon. And then the third time I went up there just to free dive for spiny lobster.
Okay.
Oh, that was some good eating.
Yeah, the only time I went to Florida was to fight wildfires in, what was that, 1999? No,
That was a long
1990
time ago.
1998. We went there during Florida's firestorms. Yep. Stayed in Orlando. We staged in a little town called Christmas. And then the last half of our tour we spent near Cape Canaveral.
Wow. On Marathon, it's really cool because you've got your street, you got a house, you got houses, and then you got a canal. And then on the other side of the canal, you got houses, and then you got a street. And this goes on like this. And this house that we rented, of course, had a dock for a boat and everything in the backyard. And they had some fishing poles in there, some pretty heavy duty fishing poles. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, he wants to know if you enjoy free diving because he is very interested in scuba.
Oh, if you're interested in scuba, I enjoy scuba more than I do free diving. But for lobster, that the thing is free diving.
And I read it wrong. He is interested in free diving too.
Okay. Scuba diving to me is like flying under the water. You go down there, you're down there for a half an hour, depending on how you can regulate your breathing. But I do open water shark dives, and out of the big, I think they call it the big 6 or whatever it is, all I've got left is a hammerhead. The scuba diving, I've got all kinds of pictures and videos. Under the water, hold your breath and listen. In Maui, you'll hear in February, you hear the whales singing, just like they were sitting right next to you. It's just a whole nother world. And do the scuba diving first and get your certification, and then do your free diving for the lobster and the abalone if you get up in the Pacific. But scuba diving is, it's the way to go. I love it. It's just outstanding. I have been to Hawaii, I don't know how many times, but I have a friend in Lahaina, Maui, that has a dive shop. So I go there, and he's got a package where you get 2 tanks a day and all your gear. So I don't have to ship gear over there on the plane. And at the end of the day, you bring your tanks in, he gives you 2 more. So every morning I'd go, and he knows all the good spots off of the shore. And once scuba diving's like any other sport. Once you get all your gear, which is your biggest expense, training and gear. Rob and I skydive, and it's the same thing. We paramotor, it's the same thing. Your training and your gear cost you a good chunk of money. But then after that, it's a relatively inexpensive sport. It doesn't cost much to get your tanks filled. Go for it. You'll love it.
Yep. So, there you are. Where'd you go?
Went for another beer.
Yeah.
I've been drinking too much beer, so I had to go really soon.
Went to get rid of a beer.
Yeah. Drink 1 P3. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, well.
Yep. You got your first one.
Yep. Old Chad, he said, I will. Thanks.
You bet. And I know you're in scuba diving country too, but this friend of mine that has the dive shop in Lahaina, Maui, he does his checkout dives in the ocean. You learn in the ocean. I took a friend, because a lot of places do it in a pool where it's safe. He does it in the ocean, and I took a friend up there. Spent 3 days learning how to scuba dive. Your first level, I think, is recreation, and there's some restrictions. You can't go below certain depths. But I talked him into his checkout dive. They went with me on a shark dive. So Louis, friend of mine, got his checkout dive while diving with sharks.
You see that one question there, Shadow?
Yeah. Chad asked if any metal detecting or magnet fishing.
Never heard of magnet fishing.
So on the metal detecting, on my other channel, which is called X Country Adventures, Wednesday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we'll be doing a live stream show on adventurous talk. It's called Cross Country Talk. Every night or every Wednesday night, we'll be bringing on a different guest with a different hobby. On the 18th, Hobbit Hunter, my dad, I will be interviewing him on hunting. And then on the 25th, what's his name? Is it Joel?
Joel? Yeah.
Yeah, Joel. He does a lot of metal detecting, and he actually has a business of selling metal detector and equipment, right?
Yep.
We're going to have him on as a guest on the 25th.
5 o'clock Pacific time.
So tune in, subscribe to X Country Adventures, and you should be able to see us live the 25th, Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And we're going to be talking all about metal detecting. And I think the magnet fishing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a line with a magnet, and you throw it off a bridge and you drag, and it picks up anything metal that someone had thrown off the bridge or has lost.
Or from the bank. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he said he'll set his notifications so I'll know when we are live. Yeah.
I have talked to Joel about metal detecting, and he knows his stuff. He's very knowledgeable about metal detecting, and he has a website where he sells gear, and he's also got a Facebook page. And he informed me that he's thinking about doing a $80 to $100 gift for coming on and watching the show, a drawing. I don't know if it's going to be his website credit, or if it's going to be a specific piece of equipment. I don't know, but he's going to have a drawing for, he said $80 to $100. So that, if it's store credit, that would be cool to get you started.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And they do make underwater metal detectors now, so you can combine your scuba and your metal detecting.
Right. There's what is his name? There's a big YouTuber that does he's got like a small scuba tank, and he's got a underwater metal detector, and he goes down rivers that people raft and tube down, and he goes down and he finds like phones and wallets and guns. I can't remember his channel, but I watched quite a few of his videos, and it was quite entertaining. Chad, do you know who I'm talking about? He said, yeah.
If I could figure out how to get my chat back, I could just read that stuff.
Nugget Noggin?
Nugget Noggin?
Aqua Chigger? So there's a couple that do that.
Yeah, I've seen some YouTube stuff on it.
I can't say that name, but it's a neodymium magnet. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, they got some real powerful magnets out there, though.
I can't say that word. I'm sorry, Chad.
Oh, I wish I could find my chat
What was that guy's name?
so I can chat with Chad.
Well, you just have to pull up your channel on YouTube and pull up the live stream that's going.
Pull up my channel.
Um,
Okay. I'm really new at this. I'm an old geezer trying to learn technology, Chad. So, okay. Home. Gotta find my channel.
yeah, there's quite a few guys that do that river detecting. I always thought that would be really interesting to do. Can't think of that guy's name.
I have no idea who you're talking about, so I ain't gonna be able to help you. And I can't even find my channel. The heck?
Yeah, Dalmyd. Dal MYID. Yeah, I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Huh. Haven't heard of him. Of course, I'm not really into metal detecting. You did it for a little bit, didn't you, Shadow?
Yeah, I've done land type stuff. I haven't done underwater, but yeah, that's the guy that I was thinking of. It's DALLMYD. Yep, he does a lot of river type diving and has found quite a bit of stuff.
Well, you know what they do in my country with those big, strong magnets is they drag them behind their pickups in the dry lake beds looking for meteorites.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And because they're mostly iron and the big magnets will grab them. And you can get some pretty decent money from those kind of things.
Right. Now, the first time I bought my metal detector, it was just a bounty hunter out of Cabela's. And my wife's boss asked if I would come out to a piece of property that I think their daughter was working a horse. And you know, on the bridles, they have the big fancy metal thing on the side. What are they called?
Yeah, the silver.
Conchos?
Is that what they're called?
Conchos.
Well, I guess this bridle was a family. It's been in the family forever, and one fell off and landed into this grassy field, and the family was really heartbroken because they had lost it, and it was one of its kind. You couldn't replicate it or find another one. So I went out there with my metal detector, and this is probably a week after I bought the damn thing, and I started my grid after talking to the guy, figuring, where they worked the horse. And so I started working the ground. The grass was like 5 feet tall, so I had to kind of mash the grass down as I went. And on the second pass, I ended up finding the damn thing.
Cool.
He gave me $80, and I wasn't going to take the money. He's like, you do not know how much this means to us. You have to take it. I'm like, okay, I will. And that was just the coolest story I had of metal detecting. It was to help a family out like that was just rewarding in itself. And I would have took no money for it, but I didn't want to disrespect him. So
We got good metal detecting around here with all the old mine sites.
Yep. Seen a guy when I was down in Lovelock, went up to the old mine we were working at, but he was down off the hill where they were underground, and he was going over the old waste stump. And he found a chunk of the chunk of rock. And when he took it home, because it kept beeping on it as gold, when he took it home and broke it open, it had a 6-ounce nugget in it.
no way.
6 ounces, which back then gold was probably 400 an ounce, but still 6 ounces. Come on. And nuggets are worth more than like what we used to get from the mine.
Yeah.
Oh, Chad said he always wanted to find a meteorite.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh,
Okay, I got my chat back up, and I don't see where he said that.
right above where you said I found it.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I got to scroll down. Sorry, Chad.
He's just learning.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, you go hunting at all there in Florida, or is it just fishing for you?
Pyrite. Yep. He's found pyrite.
He's laughing at you now. There.
Yeah, I see that. Hey, when I was in the Florida Keys, I saw those key deer. Oh my
deer?
God.
What's
Yeah.
a deer.
They're tiny. They're little. Rob's dog is bigger than those deer.
Really?
They're
Yeah.
like a blacktail then.
They're smaller than a blacktail. They are
Really?
tiny.
Huh.
They're only like from ground to their back, like 3 feet high.
Dang.
Yeah. They were tiny.
Hmm.
So anyway, I got to go check out Chad's stuff. Let's see.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit going on there. Looks like he's kind of getting started, but
I'm checking it out right now. I shouldn't really do this because I'm going to lose the chat and not be able to find it again.
so Chad says he does do some hunting. He lives on 20 acres surrounded by 100-acre peanut fields and hunting land past that. So I have deer, some on the property.
Sweet. 20
Cool.
acres. That's nice.
Yeah, I wish I had 20 acres.
Chad's got 18 subscribers. He's doing better than we are.
Yeah, I already subscribed.
So did I. I just did. And I
Yeah.
belled him up.
Yeah, make sure to hit that bell so when
I
he
got the bell.
when he uploads something, we'll all be notified. Actually, he might have more on there. Let me look. Oh yeah, he's got more stuff there. Alligator. Looks like some family time. A cruise that he did in 2014. Pensacola GoPro private reef. Nice. He said he's got pictures of deer eating some extreme apple syrup stuff during a hurricane. What? Catching a diamondback on a fishing pole.
Oh, I've seen, I haven't done it, but I've seen it done.
Well, apparently he's done it and he's filmed it. He's got 71 views on it 3 years ago.
All right. Here's a story for you. Where I grew up, they had, the sheriff's office had their boats, of course, on the lakes. Rattlesnakes everywhere. There's a rattlesnake in the water swimming along, and one of the deputies took an oar to it and flipped it right in the boat. They let the rattlesnake have the boat.
Right. So Chad says, I don't have much on my channel. I don't have a computer to load up anymore. So to a response to that, Chad, look up a channel called Matt's Recovery, I think it's called, or Matt's Towing Recovery. He has 13.7 thousand subscribers, and he does all his videos on a iPhone, and he does all his video edits on an iPhone, and he uploads from an iPhone.
He does he does a little bit with the drone, but the majority is with that iPhone.
Well, the drone is actually a friend of his,
right?
That had run the drone. So you can definitely make a channel with just your phone. You just got to tell a good story while you're doing it. He said,
that's the key.
I think he's referring to the diamondback. He said, this is actually the snake that I used for my prank on my friend. Okay. Oh, he said he's going to have to get an iPhone now.
I tried to tell you, Rob.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah. So check out, I think it's Matt's Recovery or Matt's Towing. Oh, let me look here real quick.
Now I'm on his channel, but where the heck do you go to get those videos?
Yeah, I can't find them either.
I got a Star Talk and
On Chad's?
Yeah,
That's
right.
all-
below-
Well, you
That's
see-
just subscriptions below that they're giving you saying you should subscribe to this too, Frank.
Yeah,
It's
go
not-
under
not
that.
it.
Oh,
Just
it's what he's subscribed to.
just look at his uploads.
Right.
Uploads. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
And then it's got a little arrow on the right that you can click all the way through all of his videos.
Yeah, I got him now.
Okay. Yeah, the channel that I'm talking about is Matt's Towing and Recovery. So if you get a chance, check him out. Everything's done on the iPhone. Yeah.
GoPro Private Reef. That Pensacola, that's pretty dirty water. I would have thought up there in Florida it'd be a lot cleaner. Well, I don't mean dirty, but I mean visibility. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm sitting here streaming live watching somebody else's videos.
Hey, oh well.
Sitting here not talking, just watching. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to watch those. I already gave him a couple thumbs up, so
Yeah.
cool.
So anybody that's watching this video at a later date that's not streaming with us live now, check out Chad Linton. Check his channel out. He's got some content there.
Yeah, it's Chad Linton, Linton.
And it sounds
I pulled it right up just on his name.
right.
Come right up.
So it sounds like he's going to get an iPhone and start adding more content to his channel.
Oh, Chad, you ought to see all the GoPros we got. They're mounted everywhere.
Yep. We're heading to Winnemucca, on the 28th? We're going to go
The
right to sand
28th.
dunes.
Winnemucca Dunes. There's going to be some pretty fancy Dutch oven cooking.
And it's going to be there's some crazy rides in the next 3 Can-Am.
Yeah.
Take you guys flying.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Chad said it's clean and it gets murky.
Yeah, I found the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know how I found it, so I won't be able to find it again if I lose it. I think it's time to change my background. Oh, by the way, that behind me is the Austrian Alps.
Oh,
Right up the peak just to the left of my head is where the Crow's Nest, Hitler's tea house, is located.
why'd you tell Chad about your guys' last ice fishing trip?
Yeah, it wasn't our trip. It was somebody else's trip.
Oh,
She was knocking us down getting to the poles.
Oh man.
tell us.
She was having so much fun. We were laughing.
Tell us. Tell us the story.
We do a lot of ice fishing here, Chad, because I don't think you get too much ice fishing where you're at.
No.
But we get a couple months of it. And we just, Idaho, you can fish with 6 poles. So there's, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. So 5 of us, that's 30 poles in the 30 holes, 30 poles. And I thought I was clever enough. I bought these little devices that you clip on the pole and then you run the line through it. So when you get a bite, it turns it and it goes. We got 30 poles out there. That sucker started buzzing off and we all looked at each other like going, what pole? They worked really good, but not when you got 30 of them.
Yeah. We caught a lot of fish that day.
Oh, God. We took a young gal that I work with out to go fishing, and she's having so much fun. She was running from pole to pole, knocking us down. She was having so much fun. And I just sitting there laughing my butt off.
Nice.
There was a couple times I'd have her check the bait. I'd point, she'd go check, and she was letting the line down and getting the line wrapped on that little beeper. And while she's doing it, the fish is biting at the pole and yanking on her hands. It was a good day of fishing.
Nice.
He wants to know if any of us have heard of Ron Vanderpool taxidermy. I haven't.
No.
Located where?
Assuming Florida, maybe?
Yeah. We're on the West Coast, by the way, there, Chad. So
California, Nevada, and Idaho. We got us all three covered.
and let's see. I got a doe tag starting the 10th of October, and then elk tags on November 1st.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, it must be like 1:30 in the morning where he's at.
Yeah. Right?
3 hours.
Wow. Late night YouTuber, unless he's
12:30.
working. Maybe
Yeah.
he's working and listening. Said he's known around the world
Just
for
curious.
taxidermy. I live down the road from me, but I was just curious.
Cool.
Oh, he says 11:40 there.
That's only 2 hours.
It's only 1 hour for me. It's 10:40 here.
I thought the East Coast was 3 hours from us.
Yeah.
Daylight saving going into effect.
Does
with
Florida
that?
do daylight savings? Chad?
Yeah, because it's just past 9:30.
Weird. Maybe up towards New York's 3 hours.
Oh, he said yes.
Well, I'll be dogged.
Well,
Yeah, that's a possibility. What time zone you in? You in Central?
time zone.
See, we have Pacific,
I'm
Mountain,
Mountain,
Central,
Eastern.
Eastern.
Central.
Yeah,
He's in Central.
he's in
there it is. That's
Central.
why. Yeah, cool.
Central. Okay.
Because he's further south. That must be why. Dang.
All righty then. I guess I should have ate something before we got online.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
I'm about done though. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm getting pooped out too. We've been on for how long?
probably
2 hours almost.
2 hours.
Oh,
So,
well, we were just getting ready to get off when Chad got on, so it's all Chad's fault.
yeah, it's all Chad's fault.
We'll just blame Chad.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell my wife. I had to have another beer with Chad. So
Yeah.
He
Who's
likes my
Chad?
cabinet.
yeah.
Who the hell is Chad? Oh, he's an old friend from way back.
So when do you think you're going to do another live stream tomorrow? Probably should do it a little earlier to catch kind of prime time.
Rob, what time?
That's up to you.
Oh, you're off tomorrow, aren't you, Shadow?
Yeah.
What? I'm off all day. What do you want to do? What time?
Oh, I would probably try to do it maybe around 2:00.
All right. 2:00 Pacific
Pacific.
Standard Time. We'll be on, and the topic will be
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
We should talk about Bigfoot.
Let's talk about Bigfoot. We got a couple stories about Bigfoot.
And I think in Florida, isn't he called Grassman?
Yeah, it's called something else. There's the skunk ape, but I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Louisiana.
Chad said it's the skunk ape.
Oh, okay. Carries on into, yeah, there you go.
So maybe if Chad gets on with us, he can tell us some stories about skunk ape.
Chad, you
tomorrow.
got any stories about the skunk ape?
I'm sure he does. 2:00 tomorrow. If you're not doing anything, get on YouTube. We'll talk about skunk ape and what do we got? Skunk ape, Grassman, Yeti, Bigfoot,
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
There's some other names. They got all kinds of names for them. Did you know that there has actually been sightings in the Mojave Desert?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
where is he hiding?
Talk to Kip about that when we bring Kip on the show.
Oh, he knows.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Chad
Wh-
said one time I smelled him.
They do exist.
You exist.
Huh.
There you go. That'll go with.
I
this
thought I
review
smelled
on
him
your
one
bikes.
time. I thought I smelled him one time too, but it was Rob. Hailstorm.
Yeah, you're funny.
Yeah.
We'll tell you about when Shadow and I were on. Excuse me. When Shadow and I were on a motorcycle ride, we had an encounter.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I dated one time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I dated a gal who I know her dad was one.
She
I
was
hope,
pretty hairy.
I hope she's not watching.
She wouldn't know who I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, true.
Uh,
All right,
so
gents.
anyway.
Chad,
All right, Chad. Thanks
Ch-
for joining and keeping us entertained. You kept us on for an extra hour or so.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
but it
heck
was
yeah.
fun. Tomorrow at 2
Yep.
Pacific Standard Time, we'll be back on live with the topic of Bigfoot
Bigfoot.
or whatever else you want to call it.
Sasquatch.
And I got a question. If there's more than one, is it Big Feets?
Mm.
Oh God.
That's the question of the day. All right, Chad,
All right.
we're going to check out your site. Thanks for jumping on. I've already subscribed and liked and all that good stuff, and I'll check
All
out
of
the
them.
videos.
Yep.
All right. Anything to say at the end there, Rob? Or
Hey.
Hailstorm?
It was fun, dude. It turned out to be a good night. Thanks
Yeah.
to Chad.
Shadow Live?
Good night, all.
And what I got to say is I got to go get more beer for tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Chad. Nice talking to you. Have a good one. See you, Hale.
See you later.
Bye.
Bet. Bye.